I think that there is a big lie that we keep telling ourselves all the time, and that is that our happiness, that the true joy, true relief, true peace will come in this next thing, that it's just around the corner, that it's just coming, it's almost there, we're almost there. You know what I mean? In this video, I want to talk to you about this. In my own personal struggle, my own personal journey of how I just found myself in this situation and what I believe, or what was the answer for me. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any thoughts or ideas that you wish to leave in the comments, please do, and please like and subscribe. Fearless, fearless, fearless. This is where I'm looking at this little thing, right? Or no, it's here. That's where I'm looking at. So I was like, several years ago when I first moved to Berlin, my dream was to be this big tattoo artist and to have a lot of following and to have a lot of clients and to make money and to live in an awesome city and to have friends and to have this beautiful body and to be able to buy the things that I want to buy and to have a beautiful boyfriend and this amazing relationship. Those were my goals. Those were the things that I thought would make me happy. And I worked hard to get there, and I basically did. I came to a point where I was working in Berlin Ink Tattoo Studio, which is a really high-end studio in Berlin. I was having a bunch of emails coming every day for tattoos. I was making much more money than I ever made, and I had such abundance flowing in. I started buying clothes that I really wanted to wear. I started to book some retreats and spiritual workshops and travels that I wanted to do, and I just remember this one point in my life when I was having this part when I decided to really work on my body, and I was doing this very healthy eating. I was regulating how much I eat. I was only eating organic. I was cooking for myself plant-based foods, and I was working out 3 to 4 times a week, and I could feel my body getting really strong and very fit, and just my weight was ideal for what I thought I wanted. And I was in this magical, beautiful relationship with this guy who was just so beautiful and like the dream guy for me. And I was having intimacy, I was having connection, I had basically everything that I thought I wanted. And the interesting thing is that it didn't satisfy me. When I was there, I felt really kind of purposeless, and I felt empty. This word came to me today, empty. It felt empty. And that was not what I expected. It was so strange to me that all those things that I thought were gonna make me happy did not. And that made me extremely unhappy and kind of depressed because I did not know what was going on. I did not know. Then what? Then what? And eventually the answer for me came somehow to, like, the only way out was in. This is a saying by Sadhguru, who was a teacher who I started following at that time, and a lot of the things he was speaking about were really touching me. And I started realizing that maybe I'm looking in the wrong direction. And that's when I started turning inwards, and that's when I started to really seek for truth, and to know who I am and what is happiness and what am I here for then, if not for all these things. And a huge path started from there. Many years of seeking, of traveling India and Hawaii communities, yoga retreats and meditations and tantra and conscious communication, and just so much. And yesterday I found myself in this situation again. I was walking back home from my work here in San Francisco, and I've been struggling these last weeks and months, and I've been struggling, and all these thoughts were coming like, I just can't seem to find a balance with my eating habits. I find a balance and then I slip. I find a balance and then I slip. And I have this constant struggle with my body, and I have this constant love and hate relationship with my body, and I have this constant desire to have more intimacy, more connection, and there's this and there were all these struggles. And yesterday I was coming home, and a month ago or a few months ago I was in Bali, and I keep reminding myself of this because it's easy to forget it, that I was there and I was struggling so much with money because I could not tattoo there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm spending so much money on this vacation and I'm not making any. This is crazy. I cannot stay here. I need to make money. I don't know where to make money. I don't really want to go back to Berlin. I don't really want to go back to Berlin. And it was such a struggle with money. And yesterday I was coming home, and I just realized that I had this full week of work. I am making amazing tattoos. I am really satisfied with my style. I'm having this huge following on Instagram, which is something I've wanted for so long. And I have all these requests for tattoos. I am charging much more than I ever charged, and the abundance of money is again here, and I feel relaxed about it, and I know that I can again engage in different things that I enjoy. And I've been going regularly to the gym, and I've been working out, and I've been dancing, and my body feels strong and fit. And this whole week I somehow managed to, even though I had cravings, I did not give in, and I ate just enough, and I was eating healthy, and I sometimes ate a few sweets here and there, but I always went through it, even through the desires, which was my biggest desire, is to feel cravings, even if I feel them, to be able to distance myself and to be able to see that those things, those little pleasures, will not give me joy. I thought that freedom would give me joy. Oh my god. And I was coming home, and I realized that also, last week, I had such a beautiful connection with this guy, and it just nourished me very deeply. And I feel like I don't need anything right now. And I was coming home, I already said this, but again, I just felt this emptiness. It just felt empty. Everything just feels empty, and it's such a weird feeling. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Maybe it will pass. Maybe I'm just tired. And I woke up and I looked in the mirror. I like what I see. That did not make me happy. I have a day off. I can go do anything. It doesn't really make me happy either. I had a message from a guy who I met recently. He wants to meet. That doesn't want. And I'm like, what's happening? And it feels it's so crazy. It feels like I'm right there again. But now I feel that it's not as scary because I know exactly what's happening. And I'm so happy that these things did not give me happiness. Can you imagine what it would be like if these things were what makes me happy? Just the pressure of it, to know that this is it, this man, this amount of money, this amount of followings, this job, this is happiness. How much pressure that would be, because this thing, it can just dissipate in any moment. And I realized again that I was putting myself out. I was projecting into my reality, and I was expecting something to give me this happiness again. And I'm so grateful that it again made me turn inwards and just remember what really fulfills me. So I laid down actually, and at the moment I'm listening a lot to Bentinho Massaro. His teachings are really resonating with me, and I was listening to one of his sessions, and I am reminding myself again and again to just drop everything. Just drop all these ideas, all these concepts, all these things, all these projections, all these dreams, and all these necessities, and all this. Just drop it and just stay with whatever is here. And once I do that, then that's when I feel the most alignment, and that's when I feel the most fulfillment and a sense of relief, and like I can breathe again. And then I remember what it is where happiness comes from. And I'm so grateful that it comes from this and not this. Because this is always here. This is what I am. This is what I truly am. And I project myself into all of that. Even this. I project myself into this, and I get attached to this. I get attached to this body, and I think this body will give me joy and pleasure and whatever. And I forget that I am so much more than this body. That even this body is so fragile. And even if I make it strong, and even if I work out and build muscle, tomorrow a car could drive over it and I could just lose it. And what remains? That question is what has brought true relief and true joy and true peace and true bliss into this life. To get in touch with that which drives this life, to that which observes this life, to that which is aware of all these things that come and go. And I've heard this so many times from so many different teachers that maybe to you it's gonna sound just like it sometimes sounds to me. So it's just like blah blah blah. Yeah, just stay in the observer, just stay in the awareness. We are all one, we are all united, we are all God. But and there's a trick, there's it's tricky because it can get really mental. It can get really mental, and we can start being these spiritual people, and it just becomes a different thing. It just becomes a different level. So now instead of money, I believe that this deep meditation will make me happy. Now instead of sex, I believe tantric sex will make me happy. Now instead of a job, I believe that service to others will make me happy. And it's tricky because it gets more subtle and it creates more layers, and we keep creating more layers, and we keep projecting and think that it's the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that will make us happy. Okay, now I'm making this much money. I thought that this is what I wanted, and now I'm here, but it doesn't feel good. I mean, probably because I need $100,000 and not 10,000. Maybe that's it. Okay, I have this beautiful body and I feel really strong, and I can do all these stretches and I can do a handstand, but it doesn't feel that good. Maybe it's because I need to lose another 10 kilos, and maybe it's because I don't have a six-pack yet. I need to work more on my abs. Maybe that will make me happy. Ooh, I have this boyfriend and we're so in love and we are so together and our sex life is amazing. But just sometimes, I don't know, it's just, sometimes I think I don't like some things about him. Maybe I should look for another one. Maybe it's because he does that thing when, and maybe that's why I'm not happy. I just need a better boyfriend. Yeah, or maybe we need to work on our relationship more. Maybe that will make me happy. And this constant projection of our happiness to the future. In the future, it's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. It's this thing that will, no, it's this thing. It's this thing. And this keeps going and going, and it never ends, and it never comes to that. The next thing never gives that what we want. And it always goes. So the question is, if these things don't satisfy, if these things don't fulfill, what is it then? Do I really want to rely on things that come and go, on things that I can lose at any moment for happiness? Or do I want to rely on what is always here, what has always been here and always will be, on that which I truly am, on that which I truly am?